Welcome back to Virtual Stoic. In today's video, we're going to talk about something we've all experienced: relationships where one person uses you without truly caring about you. It's a hard truth to face, but one that is crucial for your growth. How do you identify these toxic people? And what can Stoicism teach us about navigating these tricky relationships? Stay with me as we uncover the attitudes of people who only take and never give. The key is to keep company with those who uplift you, whose presence brings out your best. Unfortunately, false relationships can be incredibly hard to spot. It's a challenge, much like distinguishing a mirage from an oasis in the vast desert of human interaction. In a world where masks of cordiality and self-interest are worn so skillfully, identifying who truly cares for you can be an art form. We often put too much faith in the goodness of others, only to realize later that we've been used. Imagine a skilled gardener who knows which plants nourish the soil and which ones drain it dry, just as we need to learn to identify the people in our lives who either enrich us or suck the life out of us. In this video, we'll talk about subtle signs and patterns that reveal the hidden motives behind forced smiles and empty promises. If you're here, it's because you want to learn about self-improvement and build more authentic, meaningful relationships. Let's dive into the wisdom of recognizing who truly deserves your time and energy. But before we go deeper, I encourage you to stay with us until the end. This content is packed with insights that can change the way you look at relationships. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay connected with us here at Virtual Stoic. Number 15. Failure to fulfill promises. Promises can be like a theatrical performance where words play the actors and actions are the forgotten script. Some individuals excel at painting vivid pictures of commitment and support, yet their words often lack the substance to back them up. They create expectations with enthusiasm, but when the time comes to fulfill their promises, they vanish, leaving a void filled with disappointment. This failure to deliver is a critical behavior to observe, as it reveals a person's true character. Their promises are often tools of manipulation, designed to extract value or trust without ever intending to reciprocate. It's an essential litmus test, distinguishing genuine relationships based on mutual respect and support from ones where the relationship serves only as a means for personal gain. Recognizing this pattern allows us to protect our emotional investment and not fall prey to individuals who don't honor their word. Number 14. Disdainful comments. Individuals who habitually use others for personal gain often rely on disdainful comments as a subtle yet powerful tactic for eroding their target's self-esteem, confidence, and sense of worth. These comments, frequently disguised as humor or casual banter, are in fact sharp, calculated remarks designed to belittle. They may trivialize your accomplishments, mock your dreams, or even show disinterest when you're going through tough times. The aim is to create a psychological imbalance, leaving you questioning your value and diminishing your self-worth. This behavior is not just a simple case of poor manners, it's a form of manipulation. By systematically undermining your confidence, these individuals ensure that you remain in a position where you seek their approval, becoming more vulnerable to their influence and control. In their eyes, your diminished sense of self is an opportunity to elevate their own status, solidifying their role as the dominant figure in the relationship. What makes these disdainful comments especially dangerous is that they often reflect the insecurities of the individual who makes them. In reality, they are attempting to mask their own feelings of inadequacy by putting others down. Their ability to project a sense of superiority through these belittling remarks is a defense mechanism designed to deflect attention from their own vulnerabilities. Recognizing this toxic behavior is essential for protecting yourself from emotional manipulation. By understanding these signs, you can begin to see past the superficial charm these individuals often put on and understand the toxic dynamics at play. Once identified, it's crucial to address the behavior directly with the person involved, setting clear boundaries, or, if the situation doesn't improve, distancing yourself from the relationship altogether. Awareness is the first step to maintaining your mental and emotional well-being in relationships that should be healthy and mutually supportive, not one-sided and draining. Number 13. Unilateral benefit. In relationships marked by one-sidedness, one individual consistently benefits, whether financially, emotionally, or practically, without offering anything in return. Financially, this person may borrow resources or money, making promises to repay or return the favor, but these promises are often left unfulfilled. Emotionally, they seek constant validation, support, and attention, but when it's time for them to reciprocate, they are nowhere to be found. Practically, they may repeatedly request favors or your time, but when you need assistance, they're mysteriously too busy. This behavior resembles a parasitic relationship, where one party feeds off the other without contributing to its well-being. Just like a parasite, the individual consumes emotional, financial, or practical support, but offers nothing in return. Over time, this can leave the giver emotionally, financially, or mentally drained, ultimately unfulfilled. The imbalance created by the user erodes the relationship, making it toxic and one-sided. The motivations behind this unilateral benefit often stem from a self-centered perspective and a lack of empathy. The user evaluates every relationship through a transactional lens, considering only what they can gain, not what they can offer. This fundamentally flawed approach disregards the essential aspects of a healthy relationship: mutual respect, support, and reciprocity. Identifying this pattern requires a discerning eye. It involves recognizing the persistent lack of give and take and acknowledging the consistent feeling of being shortchanged. Are the interactions leaving you feeling valued and respected, or are you left feeling used and insignificant? By taking an honest look at the dynamics, you can begin to recognize when you're involved in a relationship where your emotional, financial, or practical contributions are not being reciprocated, and take steps to protect yourself from further depletion. Number 12. Disregard for your needs or feelings. When one's emotional landscape is consistently ignored or devalued, it can feel like tending to a garden where only one flower is allowed to bloom while the others are left to wither. In these types of relationships, the user's needs and desires are prioritized while yours are sidelined or outright dismissed. Their actions and words act as emotional shears, trimming away at your well-being and leaving you feeling invisible and unimportant in the dynamic. This disregard manifests in various forms. They may routinely overlook your emotional needs, failing to offer support or understanding when you're vulnerable. Your opinions and choices might be ignored, drowned out by their dominant narrative. Your achievements may go unacknowledged, while your struggles are minimized or made light of. These behaviors aren't just insensitive. They're a deliberate form of neglect designed to maintain control in the relationship. By invalidating your feelings, they create an environment where your self-worth is eroded, making you more vulnerable to their manipulation and control. Emotional neglect is a powerful tool used to undermine your confidence and sense of self. It fosters a toxic environment where you're made to feel as though your emotional needs don't matter, leading to a gradual decline in self-esteem and a pervasive sense of isolation, even when you're in a relationship. This dynamic, though subtle, has a significant impact on your emotional health, and it's essential to recognize the signs of this type of emotional manipulation. Awareness of these behaviors allows you to protect your emotional well-being and steer clear of relationships that don't nurture you, empowering you to seek out connections based on mutual respect and care. Number 11. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation often starts subtly, with the manipulator presenting themselves as caring and attentive. However, this facade quickly morphs into a tactic for inducing feelings of anxiety, inadequacy, or guilt in their target. They become experts at pushing emotional buttons, offering praise to elevate you when it suits their agenda, only to sharply criticize or undermine you, creating self-doubt and dependency. Consider the analogy of a gardener and a delicate plant. A caring gardener nurtures, providing just the right amount of water and sunlight. In contrast, the emotional manipulator is like a negligent gardener, alternately overwatering and leaving the plant to wither in drought. They use emotional extremes to destabilize the relationship, making the target emotionally dependent. Constantly seeking the manipulator's approval and validation becomes a way to regain the fleeting warmth and affection that was once given. This manipulation targets the core of one's emotional well-being. The manipulator might trivialize your accomplishments or magnify your failures, keeping you in a perpetual state of self-doubt. They twist situations to make you feel guilty for normal actions, shifting the blame so that you are always the one apologizing. In relationships where emotional manipulation is at play, the power dynamic is heavily skewed. The manipulator controls when affection is offered, creating an unpredictable environment where you are left in a constant emotional turmoil. This dynamic isn't about mutual growth or support. Instead, it's about feeding the manipulator's needs at the expense of your emotional health. Recognizing emotional manipulation requires a keen awareness of these dynamics. It involves noticing patterns of interaction where your feelings are consistently toyed with, and being introspective enough to understand how these interactions affect your sense of self and emotional stability. Number 10. Lack of genuine support. Envision a tree in a vast forest, ideally supported by surrounding trees, receiving nutrients, shelter, and the companionship of a thriving ecosystem. Now imagine that same tree standing alone in a barren landscape with no other flora to offer support or protection. This is akin to being in a relationship with someone who lacks genuine interest in your well-being. You stand alone, unsupported, your branches reaching out for camaraderie that never comes. In such relationships, your goals, projects, and challenges are met with apathy or token gestures of support. This person may offer a half-hearted good luck or verbalize support, but their actions, or lack thereof, speak louder. When it comes to tangible assistance, meaningful advice, or even a listening ear during tough times, their presence is conspicuously absent. The help they offer is often superficial, more for show than for substance, and evaporates when you need it most. The root of this lack of genuine support lies in their focus on self-interest. Your successes, failures, challenges, or interests matter only as they affect them or their goals. They view relationships through a transactional lens, where emotional investment is based on what they can personally gain. This creates an imbalance where one party continuously gives, be it effort, care, or resources, while the other takes, often leaving the giver feeling undervalued and unseen. Recognizing this lack of genuine support is crucial in understanding the nature of your relationship with such an individual. It requires an honest assessment of the reciprocity in your interactions and the emotional investment being made. Addressing this issue ensures that you invest your time and energy in relationships that are nurturing, reciprocal, and genuinely supportive. Number 9. Constant competition. Picture a game of chess where every move is calculated not only to advance one's position, but also to undermine the opponent. A person who is using you might treat your relationship as such a game. Each achievement or decision of yours becomes an opportunity for them to assert superiority. Whether it's overshadowing your professional successes, one-upping personal accomplishments, or subtly undermining your choices, they are driven by the need to stay ahead. This behavior manifests in many ways. Professionally, they might outshine you in meetings or take credit for your ideas. Personally, they downplay your experiences, juxtaposing their own to appear more significant. Even casual conversations carry an undercurrent of proving they're better or smarter. This mindset stems from insecurity, where their self-worth is measured against others. It turns interactions into a zero-sum game where their victory means your loss. Engaging with someone like this is emotionally exhausting. Genuine collaboration and support are replaced by rivalry. Identifying this pattern helps set boundaries, ensuring your relationships are built on mutual respect and support, not competition. Number 8. Absence in critical moments. Imagine a tree providing shade on sunny days but vanishing when storm clouds gather. In good times, they're there to bask in the light and reap the benefits of your relationship. However, during challenges, their presence dwindles, leaving you to weather the storm alone. Such individuals treat relationships as a convenience. Involvement is based on personal benefit. Be it a crisis, setback, or emotional turmoil, their absence becomes glaring. This lack of support breeds feelings of betrayal and disillusionment, chipping away at trust. Recognizing this pattern is crucial. Healthy relationships are built on consistent support, both in joy and adversity. Identifying those who vanish during critical moments helps distinguish genuine connections from those based on selfish gain. Number 7. Lack of reciprocity. Picture a seesaw, one side laden with effort, sacrifices, and commitment, while the other remains feather-light. This symbolizes a relationship where you constantly invest time and energy, yet their contributions are minimal or non-existent. This imbalance may manifest in you always initiating communication, offering unwavering support, or being vulnerable while they remain detached. For them, the relationship is a convenience, a resource to tap into without meaningful exchange. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual give and take. Recognizing and addressing this lack of reciprocity ensures you're not trapped in a dynamic where your efforts go unnoticed or unappreciated. Number 6. Gossip and breach of trust. Imagine a double-edged sword. On one side, their gossip creates a false sense of camaraderie, drawing you into a circle of trust. On the other, they betray your confidence using personal information to their advantage. This behavior reveals a disregard for boundaries and confidentiality. By spreading gossip, they manipulate perceptions and create discord for their benefit. Such actions foster mistrust, leaving you vulnerable. To protect yourself, observe how they speak of others and respect confidentiality. Recognizing and addressing this pattern ensures your dignity and personal boundaries remain intact. Number 5. Selective availability. A one-sided relationship feels like a phone line where only one party is always on call. You're perpetually available, ready to lend support, while they're as rare as a comet, appearing only when it suits them. Their selective availability is deliberate, designed to maintain control and keep you wanting more. Your texts go unanswered, calls unreturned, and needs ignored unless it aligns with their agenda. This behavior breeds frustration and inadequacy. Recognizing this pattern helps you reassess the balance of effort and presence in the relationship. Healthy connections thrive on mutual availability and respect. Number 4. Manipulation through guilt. Imagine guilt as a puppeteer's strings tugging at your conscience and leading you down unwanted paths. They skillfully tap into your empathy, framing requests in ways that refusal feels selfish. Past favors are weaponized as unspoken debts you must repay. This manipulation erodes your boundaries, leaving you trapped in a cycle of compliance. Their needs take precedence while yours are sidelined. Recognizing this tactic involves distinguishing genuine help from exploitation and asserting your right to say no. By addressing guilt-driven manipulation, you maintain emotional well-being and foster relationships based on mutual respect, not obligation. Number 3. Lack of personal interest. A healthy conversation is a two-way street where thoughts and emotions flow freely. However, with someone who uses you, this becomes a one-way lane. They dominate conversations with their stories, showing little interest in your experiences. Their lack of engagement isn't just poor etiquette, but a reflection of skewed priorities. Your role becomes that of an audience, while their life takes center stage. Over time, this imbalance leaves you feeling insignificant. Recognizing this dynamic allows you to seek relationships where mutual interest and care are foundational. Equal emotional investment is key to nurturing fulfilling connections. Number 2. Superficial closeness. Superficial closeness is like a shimmering lake. It promises depth but lacks true substance. They mimic the behaviors of a close friend or partner, engaging in frequent communication and intimate conversations. Yet when effort or sacrifice is required, their support vanishes. This facade lacks trust and reliability. Promises are broken, plans casually dismissed, and participation is guided by convenience. Such relationships serve their needs without true emotional investment. Recognizing superficial closeness involves observing whether their intimacy matches actions of genuine commitment. Authentic relationships thrive on trust, reciprocity, and emotional depth. Number 1. Persistent lack of respect. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Its absence is more than a slip. It's a consistent thread of belittling comments, dismissive attitudes, and disregard for boundaries. Imagine a garden. Without the nourishment of respect, nothing healthy can grow. This behavior undermines equality and mutual regard, creating an imbalance. Disagreements turn into battles, and normal interactions are fraught with tension. Persistent disrespect reveals a dynamic where one party seeks dominance over the other. Recognizing this pattern involves looking beyond isolated incidents to see the broader behavior. Respect is present in daily interactions, small acknowledgments, and how conflicts are handled. Addressing this issue is essential for fostering relationships built on dignity and mutual regard. If you found these insights helpful, share your thoughts with us and write them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you soon.